Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to share with you a really quick and easy, I think it's like 4-ingredient, slow cooker pumpkin butter recipe. So I'm guessing this is going to come out like similar to apple butter, which I love apple butter. Haven't had it in a very long time, but I saw this recipe, thought it looked good and really easy, so that's what we're going to make. And then I'll show you how I use it. So let's get started. All right, now the recipe doesn't say you have to spray your crock pot, but I am going to, just to be sure, I've got this coconut oil cooking spray. Now I'm gonna cut this recipe in half, but I will have the original recipe linked below for you, but I just don't wanna make too much for us. So we need 2 cups of pumpkin puree. I've got 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, and 1/2 tablespoon of pumpkin spice. Now you're gonna make sure that we mix this really well. Now we're going to cover this and we're gonna cook on high for 2 hours. The recipe does state to make sure that you stir once or twice after the first hour to prevent it from scorching. And then we're going to remove the lid and continue to cook on high for another 2 to 3 hours until the pumpkin butter has reached a desired consistency. You're going to want to make sure you're stirring frequently, especially at that last part, to make sure that the steam is released. All right, so it's been about an hour, so we're gonna give this, excuse me, a good stir. And I'll try to come back again maybe in 30 minutes. I am setting the timer because I know that I will just forget, but oh my goodness, this smells amazing, guys. All right, now it's been another half hour. We're gonna stir it again. And then in another 30 minutes, we're going to come back and take the lid off. All right, so now that it's been about 2 hours, the recipe says to remove the lid and continue on high for another 2 to 3 hours until it gets to be the consistency you want. Just make sure that you're stirring frequently. Mine's pretty close to the consistency I would want, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it and maybe I'll end up just letting it go another hour. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I've never used the crock pot with the lid off before, but that's what the recipe says, so that's what we're going to do. All right, so this is at the consistency that looks good to me, and I'm just going to transfer it to a jar and let it cool completely before refrigerating. So here it is. Remember, I only did a half a batch, but I'm gonna let this cool and then I will refrigerate this. Although I feel like this would be good on some things warm, like maybe on top of like oatmeal. That would be really good. All right, we will let this cool and I will show you when I get around to eating it what I'm gonna do with it. So the first thing is I'm gonna try this on a piece of toast, just with a little bit of butter and then the pumpkin butter like you would like butter and jam. And oh my goodness, this was so good. And the toast did kind of warm up the pumpkin butter a little bit. And I don't have toast a lot, but like I loved this. This was really, really good. And then the next thing I did is mixed it with some yogurt. We used to do this with apple butter when I was younger. You could probably do this with plain yogurt because the pumpkin butter has enough sweetness to it, but I didn't have any plain yogurt on hand, so I just mixed it with the vanilla yogurt. But if you wanted to reduce the amount of sugar, I would say to use it with a plain yogurt, and this was also really, really good. It brought me back to my childhood, but the pumpkin was a nice switch up from the apple. So my conclusion is that pumpkin butter is amazing. You could also use it as like a dip with some apples. I think it'd be really good on like some plain oatmeal. Be great added to a smoothie. Oh my goodness, so many different things you can do with that. But yeah, super easy, very good, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video and all of the things. It really does help me out, and it also will make sure that you continue seeing my videos when they come out. All right, thanks for watching. See you later.